Experience CBS News.
Good evening, and thank you for being with us tonight. I'm Randy Shaw.
And I'm Nadine Woodward. Next on KREM 2 News at 6.
This is what at least 5 people in the same neighborhood woke up to this morning. I'm Christy Gorson. I'll have the details.
The missing girl who triggered Washington's first Amber Alert is still missing 1 year later. We'll have the latest on her investigation.
They used to be cute little cubs, but now these big grizzly bears are at the heart of a groundbreaking study.
Coverage you can count on. KREM 2 News at 6 starts now.
Car windows smashed in, belongings stolen. That's what nearly a dozen people in this South Spokane neighborhood woke up to this morning.
I do feel violated, and we are very upset.
Now victims want to warn you not to park your vehicle on the street.
Well, neighbors believe the same suspect hit at least 9 vehicles in a 3-block area on Spokane South Hill early this morning.
KREM 2's Christy Gorson joins us live with the latest on the investigation. That's tonight's top story.
Well, very early this morning, one neighbor looked outside and saw someone in a dark pickup, a man standing outside with a flashlight. Now, at first, he thought that it was one of the neighbors. Well, now neighbors are thinking that that was the person who broke into nearly a dozen cars parked up and down the street.
It's a nightmare. We have a lot of upset neighbors this morning.
Donna Hansen expected her Monday morning to be like any other.
I do feel violated.
Instead, she found her car window smashed in and her belongings stolen.
That apparently someone hit our whole neighborhood and broke out the windows and took stereo equipment, went through our glove boxes.
At least 9 vehicles were hit, all parked on or near 33rd and Pittsburgh on Spokane South Hill. Neighbors believe a man in a dark truck is the suspect. They say he left behind footprints in front of every victim's car.
I'm very angry about it. I don't understand. We live in a good area up here, and I don't understand why this would happen.
Now, Spokane police say they do not have any suspects at this time, but they say it's a good opportunity to remind people to clear out all of your important belongings from your car and make sure you lock it at night. Reporting live on the South Hill, Christy Gorson, KREM 2 News.
Continuing coverage now, the search for a missing Kennewick, Washington girl. 5-year-old Sophia Juarez disappeared a year ago this Wednesday, and police have not given up finding her alive. KREM 2's Wilson Chow joined us now live from Kennewick with the latest on the search.
Kennewick police say the case has been very challenging, but they are determined to push on, saying it is their highest priority. Now, about 1 year ago, 5-year-old Sophia Juarez disappeared from Kennewick, Washington, from her home. Police say it is likely it is an abduction. They quickly turned to the police for help, to the public for help rather, sounding Washington's first Amber Alert. Now, highway reader boards and media outlets relayed information to the public. Police got hundreds of tips. Tonight, as Sophia's family looks back 1 year later, the pain of her disappearance still lingers.
Like, if God ever told me, okay, you have a choice and you have one wish to make, what would it be? I was like, I would give my life to get it back.
To date, investigators have talked to more than 1,200 people, served 13 search warrants, and conducted 20 lie detector tests, but Sophia is still missing. Now, the Kennewick Police Department says the case is still ongoing. They are still receiving tips, but as of today, they have no suspects, just persons of interest. Live in Kennewick, Washington, Wilson Chow, KREM 2 News.
Well, police in Pullman want to know if you've seen this child. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children say little Sabrina Eisenberg disappeared as an infant 6 years ago. A short time later, her abduction was broadcast on Larry King Live. And within weeks of that broadcast, someone spotted a girl exactly matching Sabrina's description inside the Shopko in Pullman, but only just now reported the sighting to police. Now, here's an image of what experts say Sabrina would look like today at the age of 6. If you see her, contact Pullman Police.
Some picketers hit the streets outside Millwood City Hall today over the firing of a local firefighter. KREM 2's Edmundo Aguilar was there.
Firefighters from all over the Spokane area gathered in front of the City Hall in Millwood to protest the firing of a firefighter. Tony Perry and other fellow firefighters in the Spokane area said they will not sit quietly until the city gives him his job back. Tony believes the city fired him because he started the union in Millwood a year ago. The city is saying cutbacks are from an accounting error that occurred back in the 80s. The city fired Perry the day before New Year's when they found this error. The union is threatening unfair labor practice, and with one less firefighter, they're saying response time to get to a Millwood home is now longer. Ricky Walsh, a firefighter who's been on the job for over a decade, says this action from the city is very unusual.
Town Council in Millwood meets once a month, go in an executive session and destroy somebody's livelihood and their life, and then walk away and go hide in their houses.
And we'll follow it out till the law, permits and reinstate my job.
We spoke with Mayor Batson on the phone, and she refused to comment on this issue. Firefighters will confront city council members at tonight's 7 o'clock meeting. Reported in the Spokane Valley, Edmundo Aguilar, KREM 2 News.
Police from Brazil paid a special visit to the Spokane Police Department today. They're traveling all over the country, gathering information to help stop corruption and violence happening inside their own police department. In Spokane, they learned about our successful community-oriented policing program. Have you seen this man? He is Darwin North, and he is wanted by the Shoshone County Sheriff's Office. He walked away from a work crew over the weekend in Wallace, Idaho. Now, North is not a violent offender, but he's now wanted for escape and probation violation. If you see him, call 911.
Local business leaders are teaming up to help protect our nation from terrorists. The Coalition for Safer America initiative plans to develop new technologies to protect our borders from biological and chemical attacks. National security leaders are impressed by what the inland Northwest can offer to Homeland security efforts.
There's enormous intellectual capability in the Northwest, in eastern Washington, and if harnessed, it should provide a momentum and an energy in this area.
Organizers say the coalition could help provide local businesses and labs with a voice in Washington, D.C.
The campaign trail for the Democratic nomination for president will run through Spokane tomorrow. Frontrunners John Kerry and Howard Dean plan to hold rallies. Dean will speak at the Providence Auditorium at Sacred Heart Medical Center. That's at 10:30 in the morning. And John Kerry will stump at Spokane Airways on the west side of the Spokane International Airport at 12:15. Local Democratic Party leaders say people will be rushing from one rally to the next.
We've got two good candidates coming at the same time. How do I choose which one to go listen to? Because there's a lot of undecided voters here that would like to get an opportunity to hear both of the candidates.
Now, those candidates are coming to Spokane before Saturday's Washington Democratic Party caucus.
State Senator Alex Dicio apologized on the Senate floor in Olympia today for using a racial slur. The Yakima Republican used the N-word in an argument with another lawmaker last week. Both men are white. After the senator apologized, Senator Rosa Franklin tearfully accepted that apology. She's the only black member of the Washington State Senate. The NCAA, though, NAACP is calling for Dicio's resignation.
Another potentially troublesome internet virus preparing to take aim at Microsoft. It is called MyDoom.B, and the anticipated attack is set to strike tomorrow. To help stave off that attack, Microsoft is offering a patch to protect computer users. It is available on the Microsoft website. The Federal Way student who was burned in a chemistry lab explosion last Friday has now hired a lawyer. He's concerned the school district is trying to cover up that accident and reduce the negative publicity. Thomas Safino and his teacher Ingrid Layden suffered third-degree burns in the accident. No word yet what triggered the blast.
Well, we had a glorious sunny day out there, and you know what that means? That means that Tom Sherry saw his own shadow. Tom?
Yes, I did. How come it always looks larger on the ground? Here's the situation, folks. That cold wind that's been blowing out of the northeast, making our air temperature feel much colder than it really is, that's going to decrease through tomorrow. But we have some snow to talk about. Light snow occurring in areas of western Lincoln County. Look for the scattered snow to spread across the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area throughout the overnight period and into tomorrow. Do we expect great accumulations? No, not at all. But we are going to see a little bit of snow, at least some scattered snow. Look for an overnight low of 24. Not as windy tomorrow. We'll look for a daytime high of 34. I'll have the rest of your work week forecast coming up in a few minutes.
CBS is apologizing for the controversial end to the Super Bowl halftime show yesterday. The MTV-produced performance ended with pop star Justin Timberlake tearing off part of Janet Jackson's top. And today, CBS released this apology. We attended all rehearsals throughout the week, and there was no indication that any such thing would happen. The moment did not conform to CBS broadcast standards, and we would like to apologize to anyone who was offended. Now, if you'd like to call CBS and comment on the show, here is the phone number. It is 212-975-3247.
Well, coming up next on KREM 2 News at 6 o'clock, hibernating grizzly bears may hold a key to heart disease in humans.
And back to the Super Bowl. Find out which spots turned out to be Sunday's big winners.
You're so cute.
I think you're cute, too.
It's coverage you can count on from KREM 2 News at 6.
Coverage you can count on. With Randy Shaw, Nadine Woodward, Tom Sherry's Storm Tracker 2 forecast, and Tom Hudson sports. This is KREM 2 News at 6.
Researchers at Washington State University are hoping a pair of sleeping grizzly bears will unlock secrets about heart disease.
KREM 2's Eric Loney explains how this wintertime experiment works.
Well, humans and bears are more similar than you might think. When a bear hibernates during the winter, its heart slows down so much it resembles a human heart suffering from heart disease. Researchers at WSU are hoping a groundbreaking study will help them understand why the bears wake up and humans don't recover.
Good girl. Yeah.
Little Micah and Luna were born at Washington State University last January. These grizzly bear cubs have been cared for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week by Dr. Lynn Nelson.
The cubs have been incredibly time-consuming, but incredibly rewarding.
The veterinary cardiologist says this tender, loving care is a critical part of her study on the bears' hibernating hearts.
Her nose is so soft.
Now, 9 months older and 100 pounds heavier, the bears are hibernating in a concrete den at the university. They become so comfortable, Dr. Nelson and her colleagues, the researchers were able to wake them up last week and study them without sedation.
And others have looked at bears under anesthesia, of course, and we did the same thing, but all the drugs affect heart rate, they affect heart function.
This drug-free research has never been done before, giving Nelson a natural picture of a bear's heart in hibernation.
This is all sludging of blood. See it swirling around?
With an echocardiograph, Nelson is able to see how a hibernating bear's heart slows so much the blood almost clots. She hopes to learn how a bear's heart survives this stress and returns to normal in the spring.
What they do in hibernation really mimics a type of heart disease, but as soon as they leave hibernation, they recover. Well, you know, obviously people with heart disease don't necessarily recover from it.
The research will continue for several more years and could ultimately lead to advances in treatment of human heart disease.
She's got bad breath. What have you been eating?
So in the meantime, this mama bear will continue to care for her cubs.
Now, the bears will come out of hibernation in April, and the doctor hopes to get 2 more cubs for the project soon. Reporting live, Eric Loney, KREM 2 News.
Wow.
Very interesting.
Very interesting stuff. Coming up next on KREM 2 News at 6, a guy who would love to sleep through the winter, Tom Sherry, if he says there's a chance of snow in your Storm Tracker 2 forecast.
It's weather coverage you can count on from KREM 2 News at 6.
So we had these cheese puffs and my special artichoke dip, and Ed's getting really good with the pimentos, but we really gotta hurry because the Quest guy's gonna be here any minute to install the DSL. Oh, I hope he likes pimentos.
We've made some big changes at Quest, and people are noticing. Now you can get high-speed internet service for just $26.99 a month. And that's not an introductory price, that's the price, which is definitely something to celebrate.
Mom! You!
What's going on here? We call it our spirit of service in action.
Allow me.
At Amica Insurance, we make our customers' problems our problems. Amica Insurance. Auto, home, life, integrity.
You're watching KREM 2 News at 6, the Inland Northwest's most watched 6 p.m. newscast.
A show like no other. The Spokane International Auto Show. 33 auto manufacturers, all the exciting 2004 models. Something for everyone. See what's new, what's hot. Compare them all. The latest, most innovative automotive technology. Spokane's International Auto Show, coming February 13th to the Spokane Interstate Fairgrounds. Sponsored by the Spokane New Car Dealers Association.
And now, the KREM 2 News Storm Tracker 2 forecast with Tom Sherry.
All right, a little sunshine today, and we love that.
Yeah, except that wind blowing again out of the northeast.
Made it feel colder.
Oh, I thought it was, yeah, it really brought a chill to everyone. Looks like we're going to see maybe a little bit of light snow tonight and again tomorrow, but not as much wind. As a matter of fact, need to show you what was happening in with the nation's most famous groundhog, Punxsutawney Phil. Saw his shadow this morning. You know what that means? That means 6 more weeks of winter. By the way, when he saw his shadow and they made the prediction, he got booed. That's because those folks were in 17-degree weather, and that was the 118th annual groundhog forecast. So 17 degrees there where Punxsutawney Phil was making his predictions. We didn't see that. We have 31 right now in Spokane, 32. Actually, we did get down to 18 early this morning. It's 32 in Deer Park, 28 in Coeur d'Alene, and 34 right now in the Moses Lake area. Well, the computer is saying that we'll see some light snow developing across the area tonight. Here's 11 o'clock this evening, with most of it being down into the Palouse and also through central Washington. Snow advisory is in effect for the Wenatchee area for about 1 to 3 inches of snow. As we work our way into tomorrow morning, could see a little bit more light snow developing west of Spokane and south of Spokane, and then spreading up through Spokane and Coeur d'Alene throughout the day and even on into tomorrow night. Now we'll see daytime highs rise a few degrees above freezing, so could actually change to a little bit of a light rain, light snow mix. We're not expecting great accumulations here. Here's the low pressure system that we're keeping an eye on. That's the one that's going to slowly move farther east. As it does, though, it's really going to weaken. We're also keeping an eye on this particular system right here. This may bring us a little bit of light snow as we get later on into the work week. We are looking for breaks in the cloud cover, though, over the next couple of days, so we're going to get one of those situations where we have partly cloudy skies, then cloudy skies. 36 our high today with an overnight low this morning of 18 degrees, and the sun is now setting at 4:52. Look for freezing tomorrow in Deer Park, 33 in Davenport, 35 in the Moses Lake area. Temperatures expected in the low 40s in the Tri-Cities, 39 in Yakima, and 37 in Wenatchee. We'll see temperatures also right around freezing across the panhandle of Idaho and across areas of eastern Washington, or maybe rising into the mid-30s. Western Montana will see highs at freezing or just below freezing. 32 expected in Wallace, and could actually even see a little bit of a light snow rain mix down in the Pullman area with a high there of 36. So this evening, that cold wind continues to blow, some scattered snow showers, very light snow showers. Winds out of the northeast 15 to 20 miles per hour, but overnight they begin to decrease a little bit in intensity. We'll look for an overnight low of 24. And then tomorrow, right now we're just expecting light winds with some light snow showers, so not as windy. Let's get right to that 7-day forecast. On Wednesday, we'll look for 34 with skies becoming partly sunny later on Wednesday, and then we actually have a chance of partly cloudy skies Thursday and Friday. Don't rule out some snow showers again on Friday, though, and maybe on Sunday. Looks like mostly cloudy skies expected for your Monday. Look at that thing beeping on over there.
Randy's shoving pens in the computer and jamming the top down on it.
It doesn't
set off the alarm.
I'm trying to break stuff.
Oh, I was like, yes, I'll bring the loaf of bread home. Sorry.
It's talking to you. KREM 2's Tom Hudson joins us now with some sports.
And the Zags, good news from a couple of fronts, huh?
Yeah, moving up in polls again, and they're getting one of their players back. Tony Skinner should be ready to go this weekend, hopefully. We're going to talk about his progress. Plus, the Bulldogs are better than a top 10 team. They are in the top 10. We'll have the latest on the Bulldogs ranking. Rest of today's sports all coming up for you right after the break.
Good lessons are learned at home. And studies show if your kids see you eat and drink right, they will too. So make sure you both get 3 servings of milk, cheese, or yogurt every day.
Okay, now drink your milk so you get plenty of calcium.
Healthy moms, healthy kids. Brought to you with pride by the Dairy Farmers of Washington.
As your family grows, so do their needs. Is your life insurance coverage keeping up? To help you be absolutely sure, talk to someone who's seen a few changes themselves.
We live where you live.
For life insurance, call your State Farm agent.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Low-carb diet mud. Carb sneaking. Diet cheating. We made a promise to each other. Doesn't that mean anything to you?
But it's a new Atkins right from Subway.
Oh.
Introducing the new Atkins-friendly chicken bacon ranch and turkey and bacon melt wraps. 2 great new tastes from Subway with under 11 net carbs.
What you got there, buddy?
Subway, good, so you don't always have to be.
Here's what's new tonight on KREM 2 News at 11 o'clock. Federal money to improve Spokane's low-income neighborhoods is being taken away to repay the government-backed loans on the River Park Square parking garage. A huge sinkhole opens up right next to one family home.
We didn't hear nothing. We just woke up and the hole was there.
That's all new for you tonight on KREM 2 News at 11.
That looks hard.
It really isn't.
I thought you hated math.
I used to.
But now you like it?
Well, yeah, now that I understand it.
This moment brought to you by Sylvan Learning Center. We begin by identifying your child's specific needs, followed by individual attention, personalized lesson plans, and progress reports for you. If your child is struggling or just not being challenged, call 1-800-EDUCATE. Sylvan. Learning feels good.
Direct from Broadway, the first masterpiece from the legendary writing team of Tim Rice and Andrew Lloyd Webber. Jesus Christ Superstar. As timeless as ever in a magnificent new production. Amazing songs, stunning visuals. Jesus Christ Superstar.
At the Spokane Opera House, February 18th through 22nd. Tickets and hotel packages available now. 325-SEAT or ticketswest.com.
And now, the voice of the Zags, Tom Hudson, with KREM 2 Sports.
Now, the Gonzaga Bulldogs used double-digit wins in San Diego and Santa Clara over the weekend to crack the top 10 in the polls for the first time this season. The 17-2 Bulldogs are ranked number 8 in this week's polls. It's their highest ranking this season. The highest ranking in school history was number 6 2 years ago. Great news for senior forward Tony Skinner. He was cleared for his first full practice since he broke a bone in his non-shooting hand over a month ago, and as you can see, he enjoyed the contact. If things work out, Tony could see playing time this weekend.
Tony's going to practice today for the first time since Nixon was president or something, so it's great. I mean, it's going to be great. We've got to take it easy on him, but I'm really happy for him. He's been chomping at the bit.
I don't know. I'm just going to go out and do the stuff Coach wants us to do, you know, rebound, defend, and just be solid out there, not try to do too much, especially with me not playing in a while. So, I mean, just try and be solid when I come back.
Gonzaga is back home this week. The Bulldogs host Pepperdine on Thursday night at 8 o'clock. Eastern forward Mark Axton was named the Big Sky Player of the Week this week. Axton had a career-high 25 points in Saturday's win over Weber State. The Eagles have won 6 straight games in the Big Sky. They're in first place in the league with a 6-1 record. Pro Bowl now, the Sonics are at home tonight in a matchup of 2 teams trying to get things straightened out. The Sonics have lost 3 in a row to fall to 22-23 in the season. The Bulls have lost 4 in a row, and they're just 13-35. Highlights from Key Arena tonight at 11. The Lakers center Shaquille O'Neal was suspended for 1 game without pay. He's missing tonight's game against the Pacers after he used profanity while criticizing NBA officials on live TV. He'll lose $295,000 by not playing tonight. Now, the New England Patriots won their 2nd Super Bowl in 3 years yesterday in one of the most exciting games in Super Bowl history. Unfortunately, the game brought violence in Boston where people set fires and overturned cars. 1 person was killed and 3 injured when an alleged drunk driver ran into a group of people celebrating in the streets. And New England quarterback Tom Brady won his 2nd Super Bowl Most Valuable Player trophy thanks to his big night last night. He completed 32 of 48 passes for 354 yards and 3 touchdowns in the Pats' 32-29 win. Brady spent today where he spent the day following the Super Bowl 2 years ago at Disney World, hanging out with Mickey Mouse and friends. We'll have a parade in Boston tomorrow. Ivan Rodriguez is going from first to worst. The All-Star catcher signed a 4-year, $40 million deal with the Detroit Tigers today. He joins the worst team in the major leagues after winning a World Series with Florida last year. The Spokane Chiefs' losing streak reached 10 games with a 4-0 loss to Seattle on Saturday, but the team was successful in the fundraising department. Jersey Off the Back Night raised over $16,000 that will go to the team's continuing education fund. Spokane hosts Moose Jaw on Friday night. And a couple of former Chiefs are hitting the big screen. Brett Thurston, who was on the 1991 Memorial Cup team, and Randy Favaro both had parts in the new movie Miracle about the 1980 United States gold-winning hockey team. Thurston and Favaro were among 50,000 people who tried out for parts in the movie. They both play members of the Russian team that the U.S. upset to make it to the gold medal game where they knocked off Finland. So that should be a heck of a lot of fun trying to find those guys. They're going to be on the ice. They had to go through a training camp of about 10 weeks. They had all these former players. They wanted to make sure they were in shape so that everything looked realistic. So that's exciting stuff. That's really fun. Yeah, should be.
Thanks, Tom.
Especially with Kurt Russell in it. Well, finally, at 6, the Patriots weren't the only winners in yesterday's Super Bowl. The ad execs for Budweiser, well, they're celebrating their online win as well.
They looked me in the eye and said, "What makes you think you can be a Clydesdale, son?" And what was my answer?
Well, a donkey ad for Budweiser is winning an online Super Bowl commercial poll from AOL. And here are some other big winners. The sleigh ride featuring a lady with a candle and a horse that could use gas X. Remember that one? The dog fetching and the chimpanzee. That's all. That'll do it for us.
The stories, the experience, the team, the news more people watch. Thank you for choosing KREM 2 News at 6.